Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Huddle. And we're breaking down Week 10 and going over Week 11. We started with the Falcons and the Panthers as 25 points scored by the Panthers. Kind of a weird score, but it ended up getting them the win.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this game here. It was kind of a toss-up going in. Both teams aren't that good. The Panthers came out on top. They controlled the game pretty much all four quarters. They didn't have a horrible quarter out of any of them, so.
Yeah, I mean, Carolina 25, Atlanta 15. And, all I got to say is the Panthers really controlled this game. Running back Donta Foreman wore out the defense all day long. And all I got to say, the Panthers are victorious.
Let's be real here. If you got to pay a subscription to watch an NFC South matchup that does not have the Buccaneers in it, will you pay that subscription? I'm not personally paying that subscription for a Thursday night game that does not matter at all. But, Panthers, no one really cares about them. They blow anyway. Falcons, they suck. Who really gives?
And Seahawks played the Buccaneers. And, I can't believe that the Seahawks went down. This was an early game, maybe because, Kenneth Walker, the young man, he just couldn't get ready in time. But, I still had him on my fantasy team. He did good still, but it just wasn't enough, and you hate to see it because I've been rooting for the Seahawks recently.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting game here. Geno Smith Geno Smith was looking pretty good, but they just couldn't come out on top here.
Yeah, Geno Smith, he turned it on this game. He's always had it turned on, but, he just kept the train rolling as even though they lost 16-21, I got to say Geno Smith looked like a stud. As we saw in this game, Tom Brady's a fourth quarter quarterback. That last drive was insane. I mean, he's just a god in those high pressure situations, and we just continue to see that throughout the season. So yeah.
They don't call him the comeback kid for nothing. When you pin Tom Brady against Geno Smith, are we really surprised that he would win this game? Like, come on now. Tom Brady's the GOAT, undisputed. Geno Smith is not really a fraud, but he's just not on Tom Brady's level.
All right. Now, on to the Lions playing the Bears. We found out a big idea. Actually, a lot of ideas. Number one is that the Bears absolutely suck. If I was an NFL rookie or if I was a college player going into this year's draft, I'd rather eat some sugar cookies and chocolate milk than get drafted to the Bears because they absolutely suck. And they're last in the division. What we also learned is that, Jeff Okudah is a dog. He had a pick six, and Aiden Hutchinson is also a dog.
Calm down, buddy. The Lions won 31-30.
What we saw in this game, even though the Lions got the dub over Chicago Bears, and why don't you tell us some more about that, Hutch?
So, you know me. Got home from camp, plopped down on the couch, got some sugar cookies and chocolate milk right beside me, turned on channel 709, and indulged in this ultimate classic of a game. What we can conclude from this game is that Jared Goff is making the most out of having nobody to throw the ball to. His number one receiver in this game, Amon-Ra St. Brown, had a bum ankle and still played through everything. And someone who goes unnoticed, someone who's gritty, someone who is sneakily athletic, someone who is first in the gym, last out the gym, My man, Tom Kennedy. Have you ever heard that name in your life until last Sunday? No, you have not. This man, fourth quarter, gets a 40-yard reception to set up the Lions for a dub. Just Tom Kennedy is him, personally. Also, Justin Fields is a running back. Okuda is his father. Justin Fields blows.
Yeah, Justin Fields has been doing his garbage ever since college. What a clown. But the Browns played the Dolphins. This was in Miami. I think we all saw this coming considering how the Browns are absolute garbage. But, Tua went out there, even though at this point his head is practically mush. He threw for 285 yards and 3 touchdowns. Still getting the dub. Jeffrey Wilson, he had 17 carries for 119 yards and a touchdown. Who even is that guy? I don't know, but he's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, Tua just went out there and absolutely destroyed the Browns. Dolphins are definitely going far this year. There's not much to say about the Browns. The Browns absolutely suck. I don't think they have any players that can compete against any any big teams. Yeah.
As you probably don't know, the Dolphins are undefeated in games that Tua both started and ended. But what we saw here is that Tua is kind of that guy. So that's all there is to this game. The Browns just didn't look too good against this team.
If the Browns do not hand the ball off to Nick Chubb 80% of the downs, their offense is staler than a bag of zested chips left out in the cold rain for 4 weeks. What are they going to do with Jacoby Brissett at the helm? He's very good at handing the ball off to Chubb, but other than that, he kind of sucks. And if you're a Browns fan, you're basically just playing the waiting game till Deshaun Watson gets out of jail. The hefty lefty from Hawaii, Tua Tagovailoa, is the most underrated quarterback possibly of all time. If you invert his footage, his throws look so much better than they do because he's lefty. And I am done with this lefty racism that is going on in America.
Yeah, some strong words from a lefty himself. Denver played the Titans, and what's new? The Titans hand the ball off to Derrick Henry 50 times, and Russell Wilson sucks. So, just a normal Sunday in America, gosh, all of a sudden Latavius Murray's on a roster. Who would have ever thought that would happen? But, the Broncos, they thought they had it in the bag going into half up by 3. It's probably the first time in a couple of months they've had a lead. And, Derrick Henry, he didn't even do that good. Derrick Henry, you know what his problem is? He's just inconsistent. One game, he's Barry Sanders times Terrell Owens times Tom Brady. The next, he's Colt McCoy. And, this game really came down to Nick Westbrook. He had 5 receptions, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Nick Westbrook, he's him.
All right, so basically, the Broncos only lost by a touchdown, Ryan, so you need to chill out a little bit. This game was, it was a pretty bad game, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah. Actually, no, I agree with Ryan. The Broncos absolutely suck. There was nothing that they did in the fourth quarter. The second half that could have put them back up against the Tennessee Titans. They were up coming in, and they just couldn't do anything against the Titans in the second half.
Tennessee had gotten 658 receiving yards from all their wide receivers combined over the first 9 weeks of this season. And that's the fewest in the NFL by nearly 200 yards. So what we saw is the Titans, they don't like to pass the ball. They like to run it to Derrick Henry let him do his thing because, Ryan Tannehill sucks.
Yeah, you blaming them?
Mr. Unlimited has been limited to a maximum score of 23 points this year. You're paying this dude, I don't even know how much, like $200 million to score you at most 23 points. It's pretty bad. And classic Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson matchup goes as planned. They're both washed. 10-17. Are you kidding me? This is just embarrassing. They should both retire right now.
And then the Bills played the Vikings. And let me tell you, I got home from Camp Kern. Your boy went on the couch. His mama made him some chicken noodle soup. And I strapped down, had a bowl of that with some hot chocolate. And I just went to bed for about 3 hours. I woke up to the sight of the Vikings playing the Bills in the third quarter. And I probably thought this is another normal game. But I was wrong. This game was absolutely iconic. The Bills, they looked like their offense was not going to be stopped and their defense was clutching up. On a 4th and long, it looked like the Bills had it in the bag. But Kirk Cousins threw the sky ball about 28 yards. And I saw Justin Jefferson go up with one hand. And what did he do, Evan?
He absolutely destroyed the. Yeah. I mean, this game went into overtime. The Vikings, never doubting the Vikings again. The Vikings are easily one of the best teams. One of the best teams. One of the best team is the best. Is one of the best teams in the entire league. Yeah, I mean, there's not. The Bills were probably, we would have said, one of the best teams coming into this season, but the Vikings are definitely on top so far. Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, those two, the duo of them, you can't be stopped there.
All right, Minnesota Vikings 33, Buffalo Bills 30, and what I would like to call this game, I'd like to call it a top 5 game in all NFL history. We saw so much talent in this game, and I mean, to just put it plain and simple, Justin Jefferson made the catch of his career. I mean, that one-handed, I don't even know what to call it. It was insane. We saw lots of turnovers. It really made you be on the edge of your seat, which is, I got home from Camp Kern, and what I wanted to do, I ate a grilled cheese sandwich, and then I, sat in my bed, took a freaking nap, and then I came downstairs. Oh, and what I saw was insane. I mean, Josh Allen had 2 interceptions and a fumble, and Kirk Cousins also had 2 interceptions. So lots of turnovers, really made you sit on the edge of your seat. And this game was just wild.
So, the Bills going into this year were looked at as the best team in all the NFL, right? So, something that happened this Monday night. Crazy. Normal game, Eagles lose, right? That game had completed the circle of the Lions being the best team in the NFL. We're going to take you back to week 2. Amon-Ra St. Brown had the game of his life versus the Commanders, and the Lions beat the Commanders, right? The Commanders go out and beat the Eagles last night. Okay? That one O-line dude, whatever, he hit the gritty. It was pretty nice. Okay? The Eagles had beaten the Vikings. And guess what happened Sunday? The Vikings beat the Bills. The Lions, due to the associative property, are the best team in the NFL because they are better than the Bills. Also, they are better than the Vikings, which Evan Love just said is one of the best teams in the NFL. I rest my case.
Thanks for your comments, but no.
Then the Texans played the Giants. Good Lord. If there's any game I didn't want to watch, it was this one because I knew. I mean, no one wants to watch the Saquon Barkley show play a 1-7 Texans. And that's just what it was. As Saquon Barkley carried the ball enough times that at this point, it's just unheard of. It's so unheard of that you could put Obama back in office and it'd be more reasonable than handing Saquon Barkley the ball again. Because how many times do you need to hand him the ball? 35 times? I just don't know. But it works. It really works.
I refuse to watch any games that the Texans participate in because at this point we always know the outcome of it. I think that they have won one game this entire season. They've tied another. And they've lost 7 games. I refuse to watch any game with the Texans play in. That being said, though, Davis Mills did put up a decent offense against the Giants here, 16-24, and they almost came back in the fourth quarter, but they just didn't have it in them.
Yeah, I'm surprised whoever the Giants head coach is, I'm surprised he didn't go up to the Texans head coach and pull an Bishop Moeller on him, so he could have said, like, whoa, we could have beat you guys by 50 if we wanted to, because they could have. So, they didn't do this, which is good because I guess that's sportsmanship or something, but, they could have beat them by 50. So, yeah, that's all I got to say because the Giants are just the better team than the Texans, and the Texans are the worst team in the National Football League.
I got to say, the last Texans game I watched live was the 2016 playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I just looked up who Davis Mills was, and he looks like the head of the accounting department at Fifth Third Bank. There's no way that man should be playing quarterback, let alone in high school. I mean, if you can throw the ball to who even Rex Burkhead, like just quit football at this point, please.
Then the Jaguars played the Chiefs. We all saw this coming. The Chiefs offense just really controlled the tempo of this game as Mahomes threw for 4 TDs. What's new? I played him in fantasy. Of course, I got annihilated. But Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I still don't know about T-Law. He did pretty good this game. I just don't know. I love how the Jaguars are really trying to make Travis Etienne work. I just don't know if it will because he's just not that productive. And yeah, Chiefs just overwhelmed them.
Yeah, I guess we can say the Chiefs are back. They had 13 in the second quarter, and they kind of just controlled the game pretty much the entire time. Like Ryan said, Patrick Mahomes had 4 touchdowns this game. Yeah, Travis Kelce was looking good this game as well. He's on my fantasy team. He got me quite a decent amount of points. So.
Now I know what you're thinking. When are they gonna talk about Kadarius Toney? Because he really struck some fear into the hearts of the defensive coordinators throughout the AFC. He got the most run he's seen in a Chiefs jersey yet, and he delivered. He hauled in 4 catches on 5 targets for 57 yards and a score. So, if you're talking about a GOAT, you're talking about Kadarius Toney.
My partner Evan Love here said that the Chiefs are back. Me personally, they never left. Chiefs versus Jaguars, probably like the least watched game this week. Everyone knows what's going to happen. It's Trevor Lawrence versus Patrick Mahomes. Trevor Lawrence looks like a lady.
Why did you laugh like that?
Yeah, Jags suck. They'll never be good. You probably get swept by the Lions, to be honest. So, yeah.
You know, the Saints played the Steelers in Pittsburgh. If there's one word I would use to describe this game, it's wowzers, because this game was really just a standstill until the fourth quarter, as the Steelers' offense finally decided it might be a good idea to go out there and play. But, you know, Derek Watt somehow got 2 carries. That's probably a career high for him. But, you know, Najee Harris, he just can't get into the end zone. He was 1 yard away from getting an extra point for me in fantasy football, but I still won. And, you know, Kenny Pickett's kind of just a fraud when it comes to passing because of his small baby hands. But, you know, he's pretty good on the ground as well, getting them the win.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about this game here. I mean, it was a toss-up going in, and it was an interesting game. Both teams suck, so in my opinion, I didn't really care about this game.
– 20-10, and you know that's a score you would expect from a team like the Steelers taking on the New Orleans Saints, because like, what else is there to do in New Orleans? Like, go to the freaking port? I don't even know, but I know what you're thinking. Najee Harris, he's been having trouble getting things done because he hasn't recorded a 100-yard game this year yet. And, you know, he was probably going into this game like, I want to get that 100-yard game. But guess what? He sucks. So he only got 99. And that's all there is to this game, because it wasn't good. What a joke.
Last year, every single game, the Steelers put out a tree at quarterback. And somehow they've gotten worse after the tree in Ben Roethlisberger has retired and Kenny Pickett, with his baby hands, has stepped up. You know, Inside the Huddle is based out of Cincinnati, right? So I walk into school on Monday. Every Steelers fan's wearing their TJ Watt jerseys. They're going crazy. You beat the Saints. It's time to calm down and look at this season for what it is. This will be the year that Mike Tomlin finishes with a losing record. It's just these Steelers fans, man. We got to calm them down.
Yeah, Steelers fan. Those people are just annoying, coming from a very prideful Cincinnati and myself. But you know, the Colts played the Raiders. You know, this was just a duel, to say the least, as each team scored in each quarter, at least in the second, third, fourth. But the Colts ended up coming out on top as Jonathan Taylor finally looked like the Jonathan Taylor we've been used to, as he ran for 147 yards and a touchdown, getting them the win.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close game here. It could have gone either way. This was another one of those games where you're not exactly sure what the outcome will be. The Colts came in with 7 in the first. The Raiders had 0. So it kind of was expected here that the Raiders would lose. But they tried coming back, and each of them scored. And both teams scored a touchdown every single quarter after that. But the Colts got ahead with that first touchdown in the first quarter.
You know, Jonathan Taylor finally got back on track, rushing for 148 yards on 23 carries. 2 of his runs went for 10 or more yards, and he added 5 first downs and a game-changing 68-yard touchdown. But, you know, I feel like, you fools didn't, but I knew that the Colts would beat him, so, because I'm not an idiot. But, Jonathan Taylor, we just saw the Jonathan Taylor we used to. But on defense, Kenny Moore's son, Kenny Moore's the second, He got 2 stops, including a tackle for loss against the run. He was equally successful in coverage by not surrendering a single reception for the 2 times he was targeted. So, pretty mid-game.
Owen seemed very confident about his pick when we all know that he just flipped the coin the morning of that game. I would just like to say, me and my friend, you guys may know him, Sam Davies, we had the number 1 and number 2 pick in our fantasy draft this year for the neighborhood, and my boy was clowning me for picking Christian McCaffrey over Jonathan Taylor. And what has Jonathan Taylor been doing all year? He's been sitting at home, probably drinking some chocolate milk, doing nothing. His ADP went from RB1 to RB, I don't even know, 20-something. That's just embarrassing. But the Colts learned how to hand the ball off to him again, and what do you know? They won. So, Sam Davies, you're still a bum.
Then the Cardinals played the Rams, a pretty garbage matchup, as, this just was a game to make the Cardinals look like they're decent. They're 4-6. They actually got the dub with Colt McCoy. Who would have ever thought that clown would get a win in his career? But, they had James Conner, a.k.a. Mr. Sickness, go out there and score 2 touchdowns. But, besides that, it was just kind of a boring game.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a really interesting game here, but yet again, this is just showing that the Rams are drunk after that Super Bowl win. They're hungover. They're so many things. They're all so bad. Yeah, and there's not much to say about it. The Rams really suck.
When you think Aaron Donald, you think beast, because he can just bowl through any O-lineman there is. But, he didn't really show that this game. He couldn't even muster up a freaking sack. Yeah, 3 for 4 on tackles. But he's got to do better, But since when did Kyler Murray get injured? I mean, it's Sunday night. I go to check my fantasy team, and I see Kyler Murray's out. And I'm like, oh, that made me lose. So that sucks. If your name is Trevor Rose, you got lucky because should have won that. But anyways, Colt McCoy, he performed good compared to Kyler Murray because apparently he got like a freaking hamstring injury. Like when I'm gonna say to that, I'm gonna say that's BS. He ain't get a hamstring injury. He's faking it. He just wanted Colt McCoy to go in there. But anyways, what we saw this game, Aaron Donald is not that good, and Colt McCoy is, I don't know why he went in there. He sucks.
Give me a second, boys. Let me find this.
Quarterback. Throw it on a dime, like I ain't even trying. Just a kid from Briar.
The GOAT got in the game this Sunday. And what do you know? The Cardinals won. And you know why the Cardinals won? Not because of Trace McSorley, not because of Colt McCoy, but because the former Lion himself, Matthew Stafford, did not play. Everything in the NFL refers back to the Lions. That is my theory. And the Cardinals came out on top. Kyler Murray also was injured because he tried to do a flick shot in Call of Duty on Saturday night and fractured his thumb. But, the Cardinals came out on top. Matthew Stafford did not play, of course. Matthew Stafford, I low-key am still mad that you left. But, Trace McSorley is that guy, so.
Yeah, I mean, he's really right. Everything does revolve around the Lions. If you don't believe me, go check out my whole entire 4-page document about the Lions theory on www.go.com1234871.5.org to see that. But anyways, the Cowboys played the Packers, and I mean, what is new? Not only does Aaron Rodgers own the Bears, he owns the Cowboys as well, getting them the dub.
Aaron Rodgers. He did come back this game, but I'm calling it. They're losing again next week. The Packers are absolutely washed this season. There's no way they're gonna get another winning streak here. The Cowboys are doing really good this season, surprisingly. Dak Prescott had a good game this game, and yeah.
You know, all I would like to say is if you are on Inside the Huddle and you pick the Cowboys would win this game, you're a freaking clown. I mean, the Packers own the Cowboys. And that's all I got to say because I know two little idiots picked the Packers. So stupid. The Packers own the Cowboys. You know, Aaron Jones registered his fourth 100-yard rushing game of the season, and so you know that's pretty good. And you probably at the end of the game you probably thought the Cowboys would win this, but you know in the fourth quarter the Packers come alive, an outstanding drive, and that's all there is to it because freaking you're an idiot if you take the Cowboys. Who's Crutch?
All right. So, you know, Aaron Rodgers is obviously the father of Dak Prescott. But you know who's the father of Aaron Rodgers? Jared Goff. Okay? All-time record, those two playing Jared Goff in a Lions uniform is 2-1. Aaron Rodgers is washed. I repeat, he's washed. Only when he plays the Lions, though. But Aaron Rodgers sucks. Jared Goff is the MVP frontrunner this year. Just insane.
But anyways, the Niners played the Niners played the Chargers, and yeah, the Niners got the dub. Nothing else to say.
There's not a lot that we can say here. Yeah, the Chargers just lost to the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, 49ers 22, Chargers 16, and that was just a good performance by Justin Herbert. Racked up 4 big-time throws, and, you know, that's really all there is to it.
Yes.
And as we're wrapping up this week, we move on to waiting all day for Monday night. The Commanders play the Eagles. Did anyone see this coming? Maybe about a fourth of the population, but I didn't.
Eagles are no longer undefeated, and they lost to the Commanders. But, I mean, I've said it a couple times before that the Eagles have only been good because they play bad teams. And I think the only people that predicted this are people that are under the height of 5 foot.
I'm actually 5'3", so you can shut up. Yeah, if you picked that the Eagles would win this game, you could just turn around and put a piece of tape on the back that says slap me in the face because I'm an idiot. But the Commanders got the dub against the Eagles. And, you know, I feel like if you're smart, you saw this coming. But seems like there's a little press kid named Evan in the room who's not smart. What an idiot. Who takes the Eagles over the Commanders? Also, you, Ryan. You suck.
In this scenario, if my name's Evan Love, I'm personally not taking that from someone that obviously commanded the Eagles today. Or yesterday. Sorry. It's in the morning. Commanders commanded that game. Eagles, they just hit a bump in the road. That's all that is. They're not going to start sucking like the Steelers. The Eagles team's built too well and have too smart of coaching to let that happen. Jalen Hurts is him. He will forever be him. And I give him all my respect because they beat the Lions in Week 1.
And that's it for Week 10 recap. This is a long bell.
And we start off Week 11. Predictions. And the records right now. Last place is Evan Love. 74-47. But this is a tight race. No worries right now. You know, in the middle of the pack is Owen. 76-45. And in front, he himself, me, 77-44. And we start off Titans playing the Packers. You Now, this is just, I don't know what I want to say about this game, but I do want to say I'm taking the Titans.
I'm taking the Titans. Yeah.
Wow. No surprise there, considering you copied Ryan on every single game last week. But I'm taking the Titans.
Aaron Rodgers owns Ryan Tannehill. I'm taking the Packers. If it snows in Lambeau, the Packers will win by double digits.
The Bears play the Falcons. I'm going to take the Falcons.
Honestly, this will be a really bad game. I'm taking the Bears.
You know, I'm also going to take the Bears because we saw that Justin Fields can also be a running back, as Hutch said a few times. So, Bears.
The Bears will win. Justin Fields will run through the city of Atlanta's hearts this Sunday. I'm taking the Bears.
Eagles, Colts. Eagles are going to get back on track with a win.
Yeah, Eagles here. They did lose to the Commanders, but I think they're gonna win against the Colts here.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Jets, Patriots. I'm taking the Jets.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking the Jets as well. The Patriots, I mean, they're not horrible, but I don't think they're gonna win against the Jets here.
You know what? In this game, I'm actually going to take the Jets. I know this might be controversial, but I'm taking the Jets here.
Johnny will get his scoop of ice cream this Sunday. I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah. Commanders play the Texans. Pretty easy pick. The Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders here. The Commanders are winning here. The Texans suck.
You know, I'm also going to take the Commanders because the Texans are the worst team in the frickin' league.
Commanders.
Saints, Rams. You know, this one I just don't know. Will Jared Goff be healthy? Who knows? Or not Jared Goff. Will Matt Stafford be healthy? I'm gonna take the Rams.
They may be hungover, but I'm taking the Rams here.
You know what? I'm taking the Saints in this one because we've been seeing all season that the Rams aren't as good as they were last year when they competed in the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Taking the Rams here.
Browns, Bills. I'm taking the Bills.
The Bills here are absolutely destroying the Browns.
You know, I usually don't bet against good teams like the Browns, but this week I'm actually going to take the Bills, picking the upset.
I'm taking the Bills here, but Case Keenum is actually going to play, and they're still going to win. That's my prediction.
Panthers, Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens.
I want to take the Panthers, but I got to take the Ravens.
I want to take the Panthers, but I got to take the Panthers. So, Panthers are winning.
I don't know what that kid just said, but the other running back in the NFL is going to win this game. The Ravens are going to win, and then the Ravens are going to win.
As much as I want to take the Lions here, I don't know if they can stop the Giants. But as dumb as I am, I'm taking Detroit.
I'll take the Giants here.
All I got to say is Ryan Wilson is an idiot because Saquon Barkley is a dog, and Giants.
The Detroit Lions will come out on this game on fire. They will have a 14-point lead going into halftime. They will shut down Saquon. Dan Campbell and his boys are going to beef up on defense and stop the run. We're going to eliminate Saquon, and Danny Dimes is going to be forced to play. Danny Dimes is ass. The Lions win by a score of 24-10.
The Raiders versus Broncos. At the beginning of the year, everyone would have thought this would have been a good matchup. But you know what? I'm actually going to take the Raiders here.
Quite honestly, I'd rather take neither of them, but I'm going to take... Should I call it a tie? No. Actually, you know what? Fine. I'll call a tie here.
What an idiot. I'm actually going to take the Raiders in this game.
Russell Wilson is going to get his cooking license back after poisoning 45 people with food poisoning. Let Russ cook this Sunday. They will win by a score of 2-0.
Then the Cowboys play the Vikings. Dak Prescott thinks he's good, but in reality, he is pretty good, but he's not good enough to beat the Vikings.
The Cowboys are not beating the Vikings. Vikings are the best team in the NFL, if I do say so. So the Vikings are winning.
What are you, freaking Kanye West with all these freaking mood swings? Because last week you said the Bills were the best team in the NFL. You pick the Bills. Yeah, you picked the Bills to win that game. Anyways, what an idiot. The Vikings are winning this game.
Cowboys. Simple.
Bengals and Pittsburgh. Who Dey versus the terrible towel. This one is in Pittsburgh. And will Joe Burrow get his get back after having a bye week? He will.
After the bye week, I think Bengals are going to come out on top against the Steelers here, redeem themselves from that horrible game the first time. So Bengals are winning this game.
Yeah, Jamar Chase got his rest, and he's just going to run circles around the Steelers. So if your name's Owen McNew, just know I hate you.
I'm taking the big booty Bengals.
Chiefs, Chargers. Give me the Chiefs.
No doubt Chiefs here.
This one is pretty obvious, so I'm taking the Chiefs.
The Lightning Bolts are frauds. I'm taking the Chiefs.
And the Niners play the Cardinals Monday night on November 21st. Your boys will not be at school. We're not going to be able to, record our predictions. But you know what we will do? We'll watch that game. Just kidding. I'll probably be playing like Lego Star Wars in my basement on my PS3. But I'm taking the Niners.
If Kyler Murray is still out, dog, I'm taking the Niners here. And I think we're going to skip Owen.
Go Niners. Robbie Gould, the kicker, is good.
I'm taking the Cardinals, by the way. I don't know why Evan skipped me. He's a fraud.
And that is it for Inside the Huddle.